Hello. Hello, Facebook family. Hello, hello. Hello, Ofelola. Good evening. You're the first today. Oh, it's Rochelle. Hi, Rochelle. How are you? Good evening. You're always first, Rochelle. Joseph. Hello, Pastor Joseph. How are you? Good evening. Euphoma. Good evening. Dee. Hello. Bola Luro. Good evening. Oriyomi. Good evening. Theophilus. Good evening. Hello, Innocent. Hello, Facebook family, DSA family. How are you guys doing today? It's a lovely day here in Ukraine. I hope it's lovely wherever you are. Good evening, Jake. How are you? Hello. Yes, Ifoma. No problem, no problem. We had a good time watching those videos. Hello, Innocent. Bonsoir. How are you? Hello, Right. How are you doing? Good evening. Guys, as you're coming in, can you please share? Please do the honors of sharing as you're coming in. Thank you. Hello, MJ. How are you this evening? Hello, Deborah Cole. Good evening and happy birthday. How are you today? I hope you've had a good time. Dee, good evening. Daniel, how are you? Hello, Julie. Hello, May Julie. Hello. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Jane. Please share as you're coming in. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you. Okay. Hello, darling. How are you? Good evening. Hello, John. Good evening. Thank you, guys. Please share as you're coming in. It'll be easy. And also invite your friends. So share to your main page to all and invite your friends also. Thank you so much. So, Kingston, good evening. Hello. Good evening, Chioma. How are you today? Thank you very much for sharing. Happy birthday, DSA. What a date, 28th of May. Spells out Pastor Sunday's name, Sunday, 28th of May. Happy birthday, sir. So that's from Theophilus. That's writing, sir. Oyewo, good evening. Professor Daniel, good evening. Joyce, good evening. Thank you, guys. Thank you for sharing. Adira, good evening. So I'm going to turn the camera for you to see Dr. Sunday and say hello. Here we are.
Good evening.
I like this. Good evening. Hello, Ngozi. Okay, guys. Let me start by summarizing yesterday. We only asked one question and we dealt with that question for 2 hours. It was amazing. Yesterday was, for me, lessons on how you develop to be Dr. Sunday. Just partly, not everything, how you develop yourself to be Dr. Sunday. The question was, who are the greats or philosophers that influence him that he likes, what their characters are, and he gave us philosophers, he gave us inventors, he gave us greats from over thousands of years that he relates to, that he feels that they're on the same level as him in understanding, in relations. He actually called them his friends. Can you believe that? Unfortunately, a lot of them are not alive. They're all gone. But it was really interesting. I learned a lot. I learned pronunciation. I learned names that I have never heard before, or I've heard buried somewhere in my mind. And I am now keen and interested to do a little bit of history, find out about so many greats. And some of the things that scares me as a religious person, which is don't look into any philosophers or anybody other than Jesus, now it's now been dispelled. Because, as you know, Dr. Sunday is 360 degrees holistic. He knows everything about everything. And it's not a joke. It's not a pretense. You saw it yesterday. So, and if you haven't seen it, I would urge you to go back to that video, save it, download it, do whatever you need to do. Keep those videos and watch them over and over again. And also, it would be on YouTube, which is Sunday Adelaja Official, where you could find playlist of many videos. So you never lack any opportunity to listen and watch this video again and share it with other people, because it's not good just you understanding this and knowing this. You need other people in your world, in your community, in your environment to know these things, because if they do, then we will all have a better world, not just you and I. Okay? So yesterday was really interesting. I cannot say enough about it. So go back and watch the videos. Okay? So today we have lots of questions, but I also have something exciting to tell you guys. Really exciting. I'm thinking maybe I should leave it to a bit later, or maybe I should read it now. I have the power right now, so I can do as I wish. No, I'm not going to do as I wish. I think I'll leave it to later to tell you what the excitement is. Okay? So thank you so much, guys. Please share. We only have a few people are sharing, so the more the merrier. Please share. Thank you very much. So today, sir, let's start with another question. Hopefully, we'll be able to ask more questions, but even if we don't, we will still get our time's worth. Because we didn't pay for this. I wanted to say our money's worth, but it's not money, is it? Our time's worth. And time is even more important than money, as Dr. Sunday have taught us in the past. So, today's question would be, let's see. Okay, let me see what I'm going to choose. Right. So, it's a question that says, what are your greatest time wasters that you're trying to avoid? Time wasters like activities or people with a specific habits.
Can you explain it?
Okay. What are your time, let me explain it, time wasters? People or things that you try to avoid. Your greatest time wasters.
I'm not sure if all of you will be ready for the answer, though.
Brace yourself.
Well, it's just because some of them are going to be private and personal, or some of them are going to sound offensive to people who might not know where I'm coming from. So what are the things I try to avoid? Time wasters. Maybe I will not use the word of avoid, so that it will be softer. The things that I try to avoid so that my time is not wasted, first of all, is first of all, let me say this. For my time not to be wasted, all depends on me. There is a saying that I use for my training that says, the man that trembles over every minute of his life, protecting every minute, the man that trembles, protecting every minute of his life, is the freest of all men. The man that protects or that trembles, protecting every minute of his life, is the freest of all men. So, my first line of defense so that people don't waste my time is my attitude. How much do I respect and honor my time? The attitude should be such that I am trembling over every minute. I'm conscious of every minute. And I am even fighting for every minute. So the more I treasure every minute, each minute, and the more I have the attitude to not just be careful or be mindful of every minute, but even to be willing to fight for every minute, and the willingness to be able to also tremble with consciousness of how precious every minute is for me. So my first line of defense is my own attitude, my own understanding of how valuable that time is for me. So it's the first line of defense is not to cut people off. First line of defense is not to try to avoid some people or some things. First line of defense is my own personal attitude and my own personal fight within me. So because most of the things that happen with me and with all of us are the things that we permit. So, but if I have the right attitude like I've just mentioned, then I would not permit a lot of things to distract me because I am already seeing myself as a slave of my time. For you to really avoid time wasters, you must make yourself into a slave of two things. You must make yourself into a free bond or a free slave of two things. You must first of all make yourself a free slave of your time. Your time must be more important than you. Secondly, you must make yourself a free slave, a free bond of your vision. Of your vision. Actually, there are three things that you need to make yourself a free bond of. You need to make yourself a free bond of your time, of every minute. Then you need to make yourself a free bond of your vision. Then thirdly, you need to make yourself a free slave or free bond of your routine. So once you have overcome that and you are able to tremble over every minute of your life, then the part that I didn't want to talk about is the second line of defense, which some people, normal human beings, will not understand that. Just like when I talk about death, that I'm dreaming of death, I'm praying for, I'm looking forward to death, I'm excited about death. Some people's pushes people off because they are not coming from the same place I'm coming from, and they don't have the same understanding that I have, so they are kind of negative about it. So if I am going to answer this question of what I need to do, what I need to avoid, or who I need to avoid to save my time and to protect my time, if I mention the very first group of people, the first thing I need to avoid, people might find that as if I'm kind of wicked or I'm mean. But I'm not mean. People know me, know I'm not mean. I'm very outgoing, very friendly. I like company. I like to laugh and joke. But when it comes to building my life, and just because of what I know and I understand, I just know that I have to do it for me to count for time and eternity. So it is either placing people now or doing things that will make people to think about me the right way now, or doing things that will make people to think about me bad now if they want, but that will make history to think about me right later on. So because I want to leave my mark in history and I want to remain for thousands of years to come in the annals of history of humanity, and I want to live on earth till the Lord Jesus Christ comes, so I must take the hard decision of doing some things that is not comfortable and not convenient because of my vision. My vision is to live forever, and not just live forever in heaven, but on earth as well. So the first people I need to avoid or cut off, or the first thing I need to do to protect my time, is that I have to cut off and cancel friendship. I almost don't have friends. And I have to cut off friends. Now, that's very harsh and sounds very mean. That's why I didn't want to answer that question. And I'm thinking that people will not understand. It's more private to me. But I know why I have to do it. The only friends I could have are friends that can run as fast as me. Are only friends that are ready to pay the same price that I've paid. That are ready to gruesomely follow or go alongside. And most friends, they don't want you to discomfort them. And friends, that's what friends are. Friends are for comfort. Friends are not for discomfort. Because of that, I've just had to take the hard decision and cut off friends. And if I'm going to have friends, I'm only going to have friends that are moving in the same space with me and having the same understanding as me and are able to run as fast as me. Most people are not. Most people who want to be my friends, they just want to joke around. And that's what friends do. Friends care. Friends just want to have a good time with each other. And that's what friends do. They just want to have good time. And I discovered that I don't have time to have a good time. Because I know it, that life is not about pleasure. I got to know that late in life, and I've regretted enough for getting to know that late in life. Now that I know it, I cannot begin to commit the same mistake. So I don't have friends. I have friends, but I meet them maybe once in 6 months. In the same town, in the same city, who are pastors like me, who are my friends. But I got to talk to them maybe once in 3 months, once in 6 months. Meet them once in 3 months, once in 6 months. Otherwise, it's not necessary. If I want to be who I want to be. And it's not about being mean. When I meet with them, we have fun, we joke, we laugh, we rejoice, we enjoy ourselves. But that's number one thing I have to cut off to protect my time and my vision. Number two thing I have to cut off is something I used to like to do very well. By the way, if you have looked at my personality, you will notice that I'm not an introvert at all. I'm an extrovert. And as an extrovert, you want to go out and, I'm an all outgoing guy. But I had to cut it off. I had to deprive myself of that to a large extent. In what sense? So what is the number two thing I needed to cut off from my life? Is visiting. Visiting. I would have liked to visit, but only if I could learn where I'm visiting, where I'm going. I would have liked to visit, but there are no places for me to visit to go learn. Everybody seems to either be below me or they are not talking my language. It's not about pride. It's just that I don't know. Maybe I will find someday. I just don't know. So I have to cut off visiting, friends, visiting, going out. Next thing I had to cut off to preserve my time and my life and vision is parties. So I don't do visitations. Even if I had to do it, maybe once a year, I could visit somebody. And then I would never spend more than 1 hour, maybe maximum 2 hours in any visit, party, visit, because I'm too busy. I have what to do. So that's another thing that I do to preserve my time. I don't visit, I don't go to parties. I don't go to families to visit. I just don't have, I have work to do all the time. I'm interested. I'm interested in myself, around myself. I'm more interested. I find life more interesting with me. Just doing self-education, planning, strategizing more than anywhere else. The only other thing that I didn't cut off is either I'm learning or I am impacting people. I'm helping other people. If there are people who are hungry around me, then I'm ready to be there for all day, all night, to just impart people, to help people who are hungry. But if I'm in a circle of people that they don't want to learn, they are not asking any questions, I pick my load, I pick my iPad, my bag, and I leave. I don't want to be anywhere where I'm not learning or where I'm not impacting. So then the other thing I had to cut off in my life, from my life, or reduce, is going to cinemas, cinema halls, films, I don't watch films. I don't watch movies. I don't watch any movie that is not documentary or that is not educational. I don't watch movies. And I don't even go out to watch. That's even worse. So I had to cut that off. It's totally irrelevant. Each time I watch movies or things like that, I just see that every one of my message can give 100 messages of that kind of one that is just given in the film. In a film, maybe they have 2 or 3 messages, and in any of my messages, you could find 100 messages. For me, it's a time waster. Why should you waste all those time just to hear one message or one truth that I can give at a sitting, 10 of them or 100 of them at a sitting? So I'm not it's for people who don't have consideration for. Anyway, it's for people who it's not for me. Then I have to cut off going out. Sometimes I could go out, maybe to a stroll with my wife or my family, with my children. But I don't see that as a time waste. I'm investing in them. Then I could go to the restaurant with the family sometimes. But I had to cut off restaurant, and I was just going out anywhere. Or I had to build my own prison. So my own vision is my prison. So I don't go out to restaurant. I don't go out to walk or to. Don't go out anywhere. I just have to maintain my stay in the prison of my vision, in the prison of my routine, and in the prison of my locality. The only thing I couldn't control is that I have to go to court. And I have to go to court because it's not in my power. The government try to put the court every week and 2 times, 3 times every week. So that I cannot control. But other things that I can control, thank God I can do it. And I think that's all it is there to learn, to be able to hear about things that I have to cut off to be productive. So, but as a result of that, I can now say I can write a book in 5 days, a 300-page book in 50,000 words book in 5 days, because I've been so, I'm in control of my time, of my life. I can, edit one book in 1 day. I can do so many things in a day. So every day of my life is productive. And right now, I've not achieved my target yet. Right now, 1 day of my life is just earning me about $1,000. 1 hour of my life is only earning me about $1,000, like $1,000. That's if we are going to count 8 hours a day. So 1 hour, $1,000 each hour. That's what my time is costing right now. But I want to, by the grace of God, I want to maximize. That's because I'm producing products by the hour. So every one of my hours is productive, at least to the tune of $1,000 an hour. But I want to get to a place where maybe not every minute of my life will be productive, but at least I'll be able to have more than one product in an hour. So before I got to this point of producing results and having a product for every hour, I was only at the point I used to have a product just for 1 year of my life. Then I reduced that. Thank God, God helped me to have 2 products in a year. Then later on, I got to a place where I was having 1 product every quarter, so 4 products in a year. Then I got to a place where I could have 1 product every month. And now I think I'm having product by the hour. Maybe not for every hour, but at least for 8 hours of the day, I have some products that I could point to as my result and have my concrete product. So I want to get to a place where every hour I'll be able to produce at least $10,000 for me, instead of the 1,000 or 500 he's producing right now. So for that, I have to be in charge. I have to be the kind of person that trembles over every minute of his life, fighting to protect that minute. Then he's in charge. Then he's free. You are truly free only when you are in charge of your time. I hope I answered the question.
Right. You answered the question, Lisa. Thank you. Wow, guys. Oh, where should I start from with this? This is really detailed. And in addition to yesterday's, this is like master keys to success. So, time wasters for Dr. Sunday it's not even one, there are several things, but they're not dependent on what is outside, is dependent on him. So his time wasters are going out, so it's not into it.
Yeah, but you've been living here.
Yes.
So what do you say about it?
Okay, let me say what I know already, right? In terms of the questions that he doesn't hang around, he spends his time with people only if you've got questions and you've got questions with values. So if there's no value in the question, or you're just asking for asking sake, he doesn't hang around. He will go. But he spends his time and he spends it thoroughly. Like yesterday, you would know yourself. We're supposed to spend an hour. He has a question to answer and he spent 2 hours because he needs to give you the detail of what he needs to say. So I believe that anyone that's been watching already or known Dr. Sunday, you would understand that already. But the significant part of this question today is the fact that his reasons for not going out is not because of the other people or who he's going to meet, or maybe he doesn't want to be friendly with people. Is because he has a vision. You know, that's the key here. He has a vision that is really important to him. Is really close to him. He knows that he needs to execute so many things. So going out, doing all these activities that we all do for pleasure, to enjoy ourselves and family is not important to him. He knows the value of life. The value of life is not in pleasure. And he said it took him a while to even know that. And when he knew, time is already gone. So he needs to make up for the past time as well. And also, the important thing as well, guys, if you're not listening or you didn't pay attention, is that he never used to be this way. He explained that he used to produce one product a year. And look at the progress now. In a week, he can produce one book in a week, and on a daily basis, he edits a book. So that's like at the minimum of what he does. In addition to all the other things, not spending time, investing time with family, investing time on people. So he's willing to invest time on people, but it's not just for waste. It's not for emotional reasons. It's not for, this is a good thing to do. So I'm really seeing some lessons, life lessons in this. Creating his own prison. So the only thing that is not of his own doing is the court schedules. Everything else is his own prison, is his own vision, is what he wants for himself. So some of the things that he said, I'll just mention in his word. The man that trembles to protect every minute of his life is a success. So bear that in mind.
Is the freest of all men.
Is the freest. Oh, I changed that. Look at me. Is the freest of all men. Okay. The man that trembles to protect every minute of his life is the freest of all men. Treasure every minute. Your prison, make your vision your prison. Personal attitude and fight within me. He mentioned about his personal attitude. So his personal attitude to his vision is what is important. That is his, it's not about time wasters. Anything he wants to do, he determines them himself. It is not other people that determines it. So it's not putting any blame on anybody in terms of time wasters. So this is a very interesting way. And I was wondering why, sir, that you were even cautious to answer that question, because there was no offense in any aspect of this. In my view, there was no offense. And also yesterday you were kind of like a bit cautious to answer some of the questions because you were wondering, I don't know, but it's not like you, but you're very cautious these last few days. I wondered why, sir. I'll ask that later. So, free bond your time, free bond of your time, vision routine. So it has a vision routine.
Free bond, that means a slave.
Yes, free bond of your time. Have a vision routine. His second line of defense is cut off friends. That I know a lot of people have heard, cut off friends or do this, but it's not cutting off friends because he doesn't like people. It's because they cannot run as fast as he can, in his own words. So if they cannot run as fast as he can, there's no point in wasting time with them. It's not because he doesn't like them. As we all know, he's the most loving person that I know. So it cannot be because he thinks that they are not good people. It's just that he has a vision and he needs to run for his vision. So I love this. So let me just say, guys, thank you. I can see some. Guys, please send your questions through. I can see some people question there, so keep sending it through. Thank you very much. So there's this question that says, we know you invest a lot of time in raising people around you to give them life, destiny, opportunity. Do you have any criteria that helps you to see who is good soil or who is not ready to receive your knowledge, wisdom, and advice?
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I just mentioned earlier on. The greatest criteria for me is hunger, desperation. But the pointer to that, how do I know that hunger? How do I know that desperation? I only know through questions. That's why questions for me is the most important thing, criteria. So question is the pointer to hunger. Question is the pointer to desperation. Question is the pointer to the depth of an individual. So people who don't ask me questions, who are not interested in asking or in inquiring, I don't believe they are hungry enough.
So that's your criteria, as simple as that.
Yes, please.
Okay, guys, that's your free pastor asking questions, but valuable questions. I am number one question asker, but it's rubbish question, and he doesn't answer it. So I'll tell you that for now. Don't waste your time, or you can't waste his time, but your time on asking questions that are meaningless. So ask valuable questions. If you don't know what valuable question is, please research what they are and know what you want to understand. So don't just ask questions for asking sake, which I used to do. Why? I was like a kid. Why this? Why that? Well, it's like, why are you even asking those things? And now I'm learning to ask valuable questions. So it's important to ask questions, but not just any question.
Okay,
anyhow.
Somebody will say, how do you know valuable questions are not valuable questions? Yeah. It's not about, all questions might be valuable, but I just need to know that the question you are asking is in relation to something. Why are you asking that question? Can you answer the question? Just answer one question. Why are you asking the question? Either it's related to your vision, to your purpose. How is that question going to help you? Or how is the answer going to help you? But in the case of Maya, what you always say, I just want to know. So what for? Okay, well, now you know. So what happens after you know? So she said, no, I'm just curious. When you're just curious, just be wasting my time just to fulfill your curiosity. I'm too big to be sitting here to just be fulfilling and feeding your curiosity. If you want to go and look for somebody to be fulfilling your curiosity, go and get yourself a cat or a dog or a domestic animal. They will be fulfilling your curiosity and everything that you want. But so if you really want to know something, ask something that is relevant to something else, to your purpose, to your interest, to why are you saying that? What are you going to do as a result of the answer? Okay, I'll give you the answer. How is that going to help you? How are you going to use it? How is it going to help other people? So if you can answer that question, why am I asking this question? Ask yourself first. Then it means it's a worthwhile question.
Thank you. Who are those people laughing at me? I asked question. It's still a question. Not until he told me. I used to, I think Pastor was trying to say curiosity killed a cat. Go and get a cat. A cat can't answer my question. But I used to do this a lot, especially when I first came. So why is that? It's like, Maya, why are you asking me those questions? Sometimes now I'm very cautious. Before I ask any question, I think. And thank God for analytical thinking. But guys, you heard it now. Ask questions that is relevant to your purpose. or to a purpose that would help other people, even if it's not yours, but it would help other people to improve their knowledge, their understanding, not just for asking sake. And you know what else I do? I ask a question and then I just say, I don't know, I just want to ask. And it's true. How stupid am I? Can you believe I'm like 12? But now I'm growing up a little bit, so don't worry about me. So again, be hungry around Dr. Sunday. Have desperation, be desperate to know, to be somebody, to have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you're among the time wasters as far as is concerned. And ask relevant questions. Please do. Relevant questions are important. So that's how you know that your question is, how you know your question is relevant, if that question meets your purpose or it meets a purpose, a wider purpose that other people around you can learn from. So that's how you know. And he would answer you, okay? He has time for that. So don't be scared, okay? It's not scary, all right? Okay, another question, sir, which is, so I think we've mentioned this before, but this one is quite specific. It says, do you have any fear, not animalistic fear, but fear of not having enough time to do something important or so? If you have, what are your greatest fear and how do you deal with them?
I don't have any fear at all. I believe that when you fear God, you lose the fear of man and the fear of things, of circumstances. The fears that people are always having, I've developed myself enough to be able to handle them. And where there is love, when you love God wholly, there is no fear because you trust God. For example, things that could have brought fear to me would have been when, just things that around what's happening to me, the lawsuit. When is the lawsuit ending? How long will it take? Will it end in time for me to go back to Nigeria to do what I need to do? So, because it's not in my hand. But I'm not even concerned about it, and I'm not even fear. Fear is the least thing. I don't even relate the two together. I don't even see fear at all in it, because I know I love God, and I know that the Bible says that for those who love God and are called according to His purpose, everything works out for good. So that's peace. I'm just relaxed because there is no doubt that I love God and I'm working for His purpose. So I'm just relaxed. Number two, I know that He's the one calling me to Africa, so it's His problem, it's His concern. So why should I be worried about that? So that's the only thing that could really, be a question of fear. But I don't even need to even pray about it. People pray, but I'm not even praying. I'm so much at rest in God. I know God so much, and that I'm not even bothered. Another thing that could have been a thing of challenge or fear to me is that I know I'm going to the den of death in Nigeria. I'm going to be face to face with death and death threats. I'm going to the battlefield in Nigeria, almost barehanded, and I know. So that's another thing that could cause fear to normal people. That going to Nigeria, because I'm going to talk, and I'm going to talk things the way they are. I'm going to speak openly. I'm going to challenge principalities and powers. I'm going to challenge seats of power. In fact, right now, my friends or people who know me, they are begging me everything. Pastors, don't take it easy. Don't do that. I don't even care. It's their own problem. Let them be fearing, but not be me. I cannot fear because I'm already dead. So people who are dead, they don't die second time. You only die one time. So since I'm dead, I don't even fear. You go and look for anybody that is as bold in expressing themselves as Pastor Sunday. If you would look, it will take you time before you can find any other person. So that's to show you that I don't even care for fear. Fear is not existence. So because I'm dead, I don't fear. And secondly, because I know God. I know that before anybody could kill me, they have to penetrate through Christ. I am hidden in Christ. I am totally hidden there. So for you to kill me, you have to first of all go through Christ. You have to penetrate through Him. So then I'm not even concerned about principalities and powers and witchcraft. Some people are even telling me about witchcraft and wizards and also juju. That's even the least thing I'm concerned about. I don't even care for that. So those are the normal things that could have caused fear for me or for any normal human being. But not with me, because they have all been taken care of due to the skills and the knowledge of God and the closeness to God that God has helped me to develop over the years. And yep, nothing else.
No. Right, did you hear that? If you love God, you don't need to fear. So what I really love about these answers is that Dr. Sunday won't just answer and say no. It will say no and why no. So, and things that may be your concern at home or wherever you are not his concern. So he understands that this may be other people's concerns, but they're not his concern, and he gives the reason why. And everything is centered around God. It's all about God. It's he that created him. He's just going forth and doing his own assignments. So why should he fear? There's nothing to fear. Can you believe that? He mentioned a few things that everyone always talk about. Nigerian Transformation Project, going to Nigeria and dealing with all the nonsense there. And he said it's not even his fear. He's already dead. So he's dead to his task, is what God wants him to do. And he also mentioned the court here is in the hands of God. So there is no need to fear. When you trust and love God, you will not fear anything. Lesson number 1,000,000. So this is another lesson. Fear nothing. If you love God, there will be nothing for you to fear. That's really important. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, on the notes, you mentioned what people usually fear in terms of witchcraft and all that. This is not related to you, but I'm going to merge two questions together because they're asking similar things, which is, first one is, at what point is it necessary to seek spiritual advice when faced with great challenge? For example, delaying marriage, infertility, or failures. And then the second one is, please, how do you handle spiritual witchcraft attack of household enemies?
That has to be one by one.
Okay. I thought there would be...
So can you do one by one?
Okay, we'll do them one by one. The first one is, at what point is it necessary to seek spiritual advice when faced with great challenges? For example, delayed marriage, infertility, or failure.
I am trying to see from the position of the person. Because for me, for example, say infertility, delayed in marriage, for me, those things are so mundane for me, that I don't even know why anybody should think those are problems. And but people are on different levels, and maybe that's the level of some people. But from where I'm coming from my own point of view, I don't even understand why any human being should be concerned or care or worried about those things. That you cannot have children, or that you are not married.
Yeah, because they advertise in church as a problem. You need to pray.
Yeah, those are not even problems in the first place. They are too minute. They are just too minor. That for me, I'm not condemning anybody. But, just because we are coming from different places, and I know that people are growing and people are still young, or that's the level of the people, but for me, to be concerned, to be living a life that is worried or concerned about the fact that you are barren, or you don't have children, or that you are not married, to be worrying about that, it means either the person is a child or baby Christian, or the person is immatured, or the person is like a child that is, that is still under the control of elements of this world. And also, of course, it means to me that the person is not concerned by God's priority. It's just like God spoke to when Jesus was going to Jerusalem to die, and he told his disciples that he was going there to die. And then his disciples told him that, Peter was saying, no, God forbid, this will not happen to you. And, why we will not allow you to go to Jerusalem to die. Just because of death. They think because death, then it must be negative. Because they are living by their concern. So Jesus told him, you are concerned by the things of the earth. You are concerned not by the concerns of God. So, that's what I see in that question. That people are not carried out by the concerns of God. God's concerns is not people's concerns. God's burden is not people's burden. People are not living out of God's burden. And this is the place where God wants us to get to. He wants us to get to a place whereby we are living out of a place of his burden. His burden is our first priority. His burdens are our first concerns. That we are not, being driven and dictated to by the burdens and concerns of ordinary mortals, ordinary humans. So he said you are concerned about things that are human, matters that are, that are just for ordinary people. You are supposed to be concerned by the matters of heaven, by the matters of the Father. God is concerned about things, issues that are much more serious than your pregnancy or your marriage. God is much more serious than that. God is much more deeper. God is concerned about the fruits of the earth coming back to him. God is concerned about you fulfilling your purpose. God is concerned about you, devoting yourself to the mandate for which you were created in the first place. Marriage is just a blessing. Children are just a blessing. Just to, give a little bit of, a distraction to you on the earth. Just a little bit of excitement to you on the earth. But the real purpose for you, where you are created, why are you not concerned about that one? Why are you not concerned about returning the earth to God? Why are you not concerned about, subduing the earth for God? It's just like people like Catherine Kuhlman. At a point when she was concerned about her married life, I'm single, then she went and compromised and got a man. She compromised on the burdens of God, on the priorities of God, and made her own concerns the number one priority. She got the husband she wanted, but she was not living for God and she was not fulfilled. Until she had to let go of the man. We walked away from the relationship and never had a child. She never became what God created her to be. And now we know her, Catherine Kuhlman, more than millions of people that are living for their own concerns, to have children, to go and get married. They don't even have a name on a memorial today. Nobody even knows how many millions lived during the time of what their names are. People who lived during the time of Catherine Kuhlman. But her, without children, without husband, without family, she has erected a memorial in time and eternity. So the concerns of God should be what are the real things that we are praying about. Just like that's why the Bible himself says that when you go into your room to pray like this: Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. That should be our first number one priority and concern. Things that we should be, desperate about. Things that we should really be concerned about. Not about, give us this day our daily bread there too, but it's at the end of the prayer line. It's just things that are happening by the way. But the real concern, our real concern on earth, in life, should be about God's concerns. So the question you asked was that at what point should one begin to seek spiritual help if there are desperate situations like barrenness, singleness, or something? First of all, those are not problems at all. Those are, secondly, the thing that you should really be concerned about and seeking spiritual help for is if you are not fulfilling God's mandate, if you are not walking in line with God's purpose for your life, if you are not pleasing God on a daily basis, if you are not sure, you are not certain that you are living your everyday life to glorify God, you are not fulfilling his program, you are not bringing kingdom to the earth, you are not making the will of God to come to pass on earth as it is in heaven, Those are the real things that should be issues of concern. But when you are you cannot be pregnant or you cannot get married, those are, even if you need, those are just normal problems. But even if you think they are big problems for you, why should you seek spiritual help? For me, all of us, we seek for spiritual help. I'm talking of, why should you seek spiritual help by seeking to look for it through or prophets or pastors or going to some mountains to talk to some people, for people to pray for you. I don't think those are the real things that you should be, I don't think you should be seeking even for anything, things like that. I think what you should do is just to talk to God by yourself. For me, seeking for spiritual help is just talk to your Father who is in heaven. And your Father who sits in secret will repay you in public. So seeking spiritual help for me doesn't mean seeking outside of personal relationship with God. It's first of all in seeking it within your own personal walk with God. But then if you feel that you are weak, or if you feel that your hands are down, or you are weak for some reason, things could happen in life. You just see that you are tired, or you are not in a good state right now spiritually, or you cannot feel God or hear God, or you feel that you are just weakened, your hands are dropped, then definitely the Bible says when 2 or 3 of you shall pray about something, then you could seek a brotherly help from other brethren, from other brothers, from other, not spiritual help. I will not call it spiritual help as such. I'll just seek somebody, partnership, somebody that you could trust, somebody that you believe in, somebody that could agree with you in prayer, somebody that you could pray with you and for you. Just don't make it so spiritual help. Go for deliverance, go to the mountain, go to 7 days program there, somewhere. You can go to 7 days program on your own. Do a solitude by yourself. Or go to the place, but seek God, not to look for men. Seek God for yourself. Even when you ask people to pray for you, make sure that you are connected to God and you are focused on God rather than the man who will pray for you. So I don't know if I was able to answer that question.
Yes, I think you definitely answered the question, and I don't need converting. I have at least some understanding in that area now. But first of all, the things that this person is talking about in terms of marriage, infertility, and failures in life. I know failures, they have process. You can, if you understand how to achieve a goal, or maybe look for process to achieve a certain goal. But we've been brainwashed so much that we need to get married, we need to have children, and that is some people's purpose in life. That's what they live for. People live
but that's
to get
totally
married.
Against the Bible.
Okay.
The Bible says that he that is not married is concerned about the things of God. So the Bible is basically saying through Paul that for you not to be married is more beneficial to you, because you will be more concerned and focused on the things of God. But to be married is to be distracted, is to be more focused on pleasing the husband or wife, which is not good for you. That's what it says in Corinthians. It's more beneficial for you, that's just the truth, to be more focused on God and pleasing Him than to be married. It's not a tragedy that you are not married. You should rather be rejoicing that you are not married. And convert that time for productivity for the kingdom. But when you marry, you now have to be putting disciplines in place so that that marriage will not be an hindrance for you from doing eternal and kingdom purposes on earth. Most often, it stands on the way.
Okay. Right, so that's good. You said that. But I know people there, right? Even I was thinking, you're married and you have children as well.
Yes.
So there'll be people sitting there thinking, well, it's easy for you to say,
yes,
you're married, you have children,
yes,
even though you say this and you have this knowledge.
Yes.
What can you say to those kind of people? How can you kind of reconcile their mind to focus, to understand really purpose? Because, you know, you said all these things, I understand them, and it's almost like freedom for me that, you know, I have a purpose, and my purpose is not on the marriage and children. They're nice things, they're blessings as you mentioned them, but if that blessing is the only thing that you're seeking in your life, is your desire, it's a problem. Apart from the fact that that's what it's advertised in religious sects, that you need to be married, you need to have children after school, after you finish university, that's the next thing that people are wishing for you. And I grew up with all that. I grew up with that. There was nothing else apart from this knowledge in the last year that you're giving me. So it's really difficult to get rid of that. But you saying all these things, you still chose to get married. You desired to get married. You went ahead, you did, and you achieved it. And you have children as well. So how can you talk to somebody that don't? Because this person clearly is having challenges with these things. And, you know, despite everything that you've said, it's not easy to just get rid of that mindset. What would you say?
Okay. First of all, it's not just about me you have to look at, but you have to look at my fruits as well, and my environment. If you see so many single ladies here around me, and, you know, men, women who are single and are focused on fulfilling God's purpose for their lives, and they are virgins, and they are, you know, dedicated to, and they are serving God from morning to night. And so that's because they have been taught, and they are excited about it. But about me, if the person is interested in comparing and using my own situation as comparison, I would say that before you go, it's not that I'm against marriage. This should be made clear. It's not that I'm against marriage, and it's not that I am denying the office of marriage or the place of marriage. God created the institution of marriage, you know, and so there's a blessing in it. But I'm saying there's a greater blessing in being single. Now, and what I try to address is that when you are single, it's not a tragedy. Don't regard it as a tragedy. And don't begin to live in sadness or in regret or thinking that you are being in a panic state, like that person is saying, that, oh, we need to seek spiritual help, as if there is a tragedy happening. That's what I'm saying. That if you are not single, if you are single or you don't have children, no tragedy is happening. Convert that to a time of God's service. Convert that. Believe in the word of God that is the best time for you to be productive. Believe in the word of God that that's time for you to focus more on fulfilling God's will, and use that for your good. People who say I'm married, why it's easier for me to do that, to say that? Well, I was not married all the time. After I got saved, 8 years, I was not married, but I was being productive. I was focused. And people who know me, who knew my life that time, let them tell you the kind of life I was living. I was not living a life thinking about a marriage or something. I was being productive, that more than even you could imagine now. If you had seen me that time, you would not believe it. I was totally sold out. I was fanatical about serving God. So what I'm teaching, I have practiced. Now, does that mean that it's prohibited to marry? No. But for me, personally, I would say nobody should even think of marriage unless you know what it means. You have full understanding of it, and you know how to make it work. Otherwise, it will just distract you, and it will ground you, and it will, it will derail you. So for me, I know that I'm a strong man, strong enough to combine a successful marriage life with successful ministry, or with successful life for God. Personally, if you want to hear my belief, I believe that if that person that is talking like that is strong enough to be able to manage, not to go and focus on family, and if the person is already in tragedy or the panic mode like that, it means the person is already having his priority wrong. So what I'm saying is that marriage did not derail me. marriage did not shift my focus and priority. My priority before marriage was God. My priority during marriage is God. My priority after marriage, I'm not looking at my children as my source of joy. But so for a lot of people, when they marry, they are looking up to children, or when they don't even have children, they are looking up to children as if children should give them something. My children are not giving me anything. I'm giving them. But I'm looking at my children as stewardship. I'm only looking at my children as people that I have to raise up in a godly way, as God wants them to become, and develop them as God wishes them to be, as my responsibility before God. Not because I want them to be my source of joy. My children are not my source of joy. They are not exciting me. I'm not, I have to see my child, I have to be excited. No. They are not my inspiration. They are not my excitement. They are my responsibility. And my joy is in the fact that I am playing that responsibility well. My joy is only in the fact that I am seeing that I and my wife, we are doing a good job, that we are making God happy. So my excitement about my children is connected to the fact that we are playing our role well, not that we have children. When I was younger, I thought like that too. But when I'm growing up, I'm telling you the way it is right now. My wife is not my excitement. My wife is not it's not the reason why I'm waking up in the morning, or she's not adding something to me in the sense that she's the meaning of my life. So because if I don't have her, I'm going to be depressed, or I'm going to have spiritual help, or need spiritual help. No. She's not the source of my joy. She's not the source of my life. I and her have the same source. Just like I'm, for the same source that I have is God. And she herself I'm not the source of her life. It's God that is the source of her life. I love her, she loves me, I respect her, she respects me. But we're just partners, we're just friends, we're just lovers. But not that love is what is sustaining me. No. So I'm having a different that's why some of these questions I'm cautious about answering them. Because some of these things, they are against the status quo. And they are against the normal human being, the way they think. But I am more concerned about thinking the way God thinks. I am more concerned about, lining up myself into God's demands and God's priority and God's standard. For I personally believe that God doesn't want me to make my wife my source of joy, or my children my source of joy. If that were the case, He would have retained them in heaven, so that there will be marriage in heaven or family in heaven, like that, as such. But no, in heaven it wouldn't be irrelevant, because in heaven we'll have greater bonds than family. So family for me here, and marriage and not marriage, is secondary to God's priority. God is the number one priority. Every other thing is secondary, including family. But I know there is a great percentage of the church that is saying family is the number one thing. Almost there is no God, only family. So they are using God only for the family, children. But that's their own understanding. But Jesus never had children. Jesus didn't have children, and I don't think that he lost. He didn't have wife, he didn't marry, and I don't think that he was inferior. I think that he was rather superior, because he didn't have any of those. The same with Paul.
Guys, I think we should end here. This is it. Let me help you with the fire on your head right now. You don't need to worry about anything other than God's priority. Children, all these people, my children are my life, fallacy, forget about it. My husband, my wife, forget about it. Your focus should be God. Your priority should be God. You hear it live and direct, and it makes so much sense. God did not create you to just come and get married and have children. Having a problem or challenge in this area is not a challenge. You made up that challenge. Your society made up that challenge. The world made up that challenge. It's not true. Get rid of it. It's not true. So now you've taken your freedom. Here, I'm giving you this freedom from Dr. Sunday. I'm passing it on to you. So don't worry. It's not a problem. It's not a spiritual problem. It doesn't need spiritual help. Spiritual help is even, again, another challenge that, it was made up. It's not real. Your relationship with God is the most important thing. Yes, you can have somebody that you relate to, that you talk to, and you pray together, but this is not spiritual problem. Whatever spiritual problem is, I don't even know, but whatever it is, it's not true. It was made up by religious sects to just keep you in a box. So, I release you. Get out of the box. You're not in any problem. You don't have a challenge. You have your life. You were created for a purpose. Focus on that purpose. Do the things that you need to do and be happy. Own your own happiness. Your wife will not make you happy. Your husband will not make you happy. They're not your source of joy. God is the source of your joy. What kind of life is this? This is like the real freedom. I feel so light right now, guys. I really do. It's like, fire has just been lifted from me. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate this session. I know this already, but for your sake, I thought, it's good to share. So thank you to the person that just asked this question. Guys, I have got good news for you.
There is the second half of that
There
question.
is,
Okay,
there is.
But we'll continue tomorrow. So.
Yes. But I've got good news, sir. No, not to sir. He knows already. I've got good news for you watching us right now. There is a competition, and I've got Kate right here that would announce it. Okay? And if I need to add anything, I will. I don't think I will, but let's see. So, Kate. Ready?
Yes. Okay, guys, nice to see you all. Greetings to you from Kiev. And we have very, very good news. There is Pastor Sunday Golden Jubilee contest, which means that there are some very, very nice presents. And the presents are of values that we have in our hearts. It's not like, some things much more valuable. So, if you're ready, I will tell you now what are the gifts. And then I will tell you what are the criteria to qualify and win in this competition. We will have 50 winners, 50 winners, and the gifts and presents are: number 1, Pastor Sunday's books. Well, those who like to know more, they will be able to get this knowledge right from Pastor. Pastor, can we also sign?
Yes, it's going to sign.
Wow! Signed by Pastor. And next we will have you can win a 1-hour Skype talk with Pastor Sunday, one-on-one. 1 hour Skype talk with Pastor Sunday, one-on-one. Next, you can win to be a Pastor Sunday personal visitor, Pastor Sunday's personal guest. Next, you can win a lunch with Pastor Sunday in Kiev, Ukraine. Wow! And number 5, you can win personal question time with Pastor Sunday, 1 hour. All right, so you will have, after this announcement, you will have a link where you have to go and to see more detailed conditions, but I will just I will read them for you, but you will have to be really detailed and review them again. So, participants of the contest, they can choose any category to participate in, whatever you like, and the criteria to become winner are following. Nominations are the following. We will have 7 best doers. So these are those people who have accomplished the most projects after the teachings of Pastor Sunday.
Is anybody writing? No, for them. Or you
I will send. Can someone post? It's ready.
What you will do.
Post it. It's ready, please. So now, next, you will have a link now, so you can go and read it. Everything. It's on Facebook, on Dr. Sunday Adelaja page, in notes. So you will see it on the main page in very large letters. You cannot miss it. So next nomination is seven most grateful performers, and it is according to Dr. Sunday Adelaja gratitude scale. Do you know what is the gratitude scale of Pastor Sunday? There are 11 levels of gratitude. So you can choose this nomination, and we will reward those people who will perform, or who can show that they are performing in 4 highest levels of gratitude. Next is 10 most zealous book readers. If you love reading books, this might be for you. So who are those people? These are people who read the largest amount of Pastor Sunday's English books, and can write which lessons and reviews they have got from each books in writing, in text. Next, 7 best followers, students of Pastor Sunday. Those are people who listen to the largest amount of Pastor Sunday's teachings and can prove it by providing notes made on each teaching, or on each recording. Number 5, we have altogether 7 nominations. Nomination number 5, 7 greatest DSA promoters. These are people who succeeded to do the largest amount of shares of DSA video contents from now on, from today, from 8th of May till 25th of May, and could provide evidence by proving for Facebook activity log. On how to do it, you will have these details in email if you will choose this category to participate. Now number 6, nomination number 6 is 7 best creators of 5 minutes videos with lessons from Dr. Sunday Adelaja teachings. It means that 7 winners will be those people that will do a video recording of lessons or reviews. Like you sit in front of camera and you tell which were your lessons and reviews. And nomination number 7 is 5 best DSA video biography creators. Those are people who will create the best video biography or Dr. Sunday Adelaja introduction. So there can be 50 winners, and you can be one of them. And I'm very happy about this. You can see details in comments. I think it's posted already. So if you have any questions, write under the note your questions, and we will support you. That is it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, guys, I know that you heard all that. It's a fantastic competition, so it would be great if you will all participate. They're really good. Let me just give you the highlight of this, right? Competition, you're winning several things. And we have 50 prizes in total on the 7 categories. So there's 7 categories of competition that you can enter. So whichever one suits you the best. And the prize are Pastor Sunday's books. So you can choose Pastor Sunday's books. So you know he's written several books. So the ones in the English, there are quite a few as well. And also, by the time it's 28th of May, he would have also released 50 in total. So you have lots of books to choose from. And then secondly, a Skype talk for 1 hour with Dr. Sunday. That's another gift that you could get. And then you can visit here in Kyiv to see Pastor Sunday and have lunch with him. Personal visit here as a guest of Pastor Sunday. And lunch with Pastor Sunday in Kyiv, Ukraine. And also you can have a personal question time. So you can sit down. This one, you would also need to do a lot of work as well. So you know already from today's session, you know question is important to Dr. Sunday, and you know that it would answer all your questions. But they have to have value, and the value is based on relevance to your goal, to your purpose. So don't forget that. You've already got heads up on what to do, and you can do this. And for you guys that are going to choose the category of posting on social media, that's the best one, because now we have a challenge that is on. So we have a challenge, there's a prize, and you're already doing this, so you just need to speed up your activity, make it great. You know, let's be great. Make America great again. Make USA posting great again. You're not Donald Trump. So that's what we need to do. First thing you need to do, seven best doers, people who have accomplished the most projects after the teaching of Pastor Sunday. I know a lot of people have accomplished a lot from listening to Pastor Sunday over the last year and a bit. So those people that have accomplished a lot, and you can list what you've accomplished, and you can give us evidence of it, you can be a winner. So enter that if that's you. And also, someone most grateful performer. So there are scales of gratitude, and there are 11 different scales. So if you are somebody that have performed to the top 4 of it, and you can prove it, then you can also enter this competition, this aspect of the competition. Then there is 10 most zealous book readers. So 10 people can also win this part of the competition, which is reading Dr. Sunday's book. Read as many books and review the book. Say what you've learned about the book. And if you're one of the 10, or you're the 10 people that gave the best answers and understand the books and understand what the book is about, and you can give in a compelling way, then enter this. And then 7 best followers, student of Pastor Sunday. I know that there's so many people that can win this, but you need to enter to win. You need to make the effort. So if you're a follower, or you're a student, or somebody that is part of DSA family, you're one of this category of people. Who've listened to the largest amount of Pastor Sunday's teaching on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you've been listening to his teaching, either it's audio or video, you can enter this. So I'll urge you to enter that. A lot of people will qualify for this. So you might want to do that, but you need to explain what you've learned, the teaching that you love the most, and give it in a compelling way, because there will be people reading this and making sure that you're doing the right thing and everything that you're saying makes sense. And then there is 7 greatest DSA promoters. Again, this one is tied to what we're doing, where we started from the 28th of April. Now we're continuing, but you have to speed it up a bit. So put some wood in the fire for this. And if you can, and achieve the best promotion by your post, by what you write, by your posters and your videos, and talking about Dr. Sunday, this is for you. I would urge you to enter this one as well. And then we have 7 best creator of 5 video lessons of Dr. Sunday. So you can sit down and just create a video of Dr. Sunday's teaching, what you've learned, 5 minutes video, not 5 videos, 5 minutes video. So that's another one for you. And then 5 best DSA biography creator. This one is good for anyone that is interested in graphic design, or already graphic designers. You can put videos together of Dr. Sunday, collage of Dr. Sunday, and talk about his life. I'll give you a hint. You can get his history from most of this teaching, especially the one a few weeks ago with that we started confidence. The first ever week, you can go back and listen to that. That will help you. But the best thing to get is the book Olorun Wa. Everything is on there. Just read that book. Read it as quick as you can in detail. And then you can use that book to create your biography videos. So go ahead. These are fantastic gifts for the Golden Jubilee and for this competition. And everything is written out for you. There's a link that Kate has created for you, so that you can go back time after time to read this and understand what you need to do. So I've taken enough of your time. I'm grateful for the time that I've spent with you, and I'm sure that you have learned a lot in this lesson as usual, this session as usual, not lesson, session. It's up to you to learn. So this session with Dr. Sunday, we're back again tomorrow. I can't wait. There's the second question about witchcraft. I'm not really keen on it, but you ask, Dr. Sunday will answer. But make sure that most of your questions are about Dr. Sunday, not this. He answers these questions about these random questions on Fridays every other week. Friday. The next one will probably be after we finish this Golden Jubilee question time. But he answers on a Friday every 2 weeks. You can ask any question. It's called Ask Dr. Sunday or Ask Pastor Sunday. So you can ask any question then. But this session now is for Golden Jubilee. So it's hashtag DSA Golden Jubilee. Keep hashtagging. Okay? Thank you again for joining us. I'm sorry I didn't read most of your comments today, but I will be reading them and I will be laughing as I am. So I hope you're laughing with me. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.